Hello and welcome back to the newest episode of the Time podcast. Today I have Anna Shannon with me. Anna, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, I really appreciate that you take the time to talk to me. Very interested to hear your story because we have not had a pre-chat about your time history, and also excited that we can talk about your time future today as well. So there's lots in it. Stay tuned and be excited for lovely Anna. Anna, let's start actually all the way at the beginning. When was the very first time and how actually that you heard about time and potentially attended time?
Yeah, I think the first time I heard about it was probably about 8 years ago. So I was a retail travel agent with Flight Centre, and I used to love sitting down with a coffee and reading my travel bulletin or my travel daily. And I remember hearing about time and the scholarship opportunities and thinking I would love to do that one day. It wasn't really until many years later that I took the plunge and actually inquired. And just recently, well, let's say about 10 months ago now, graduated from my time as a mentee. So,
Mhm.
yeah, a couple of years ago, I started undertaking the mentee program. And it came at a really good time for me, actually, as many of us had been affected by COVID and the pandemic, and I was working on my new project. So there was the time to do it, but also I think it was the right time for me. And as I said, I'd always wanted to do it. It just wasn't quite right for various reasons. I think a lot of
Mhm.
people go through that too.
Yes, you're right. And a lot of people always think, where do I take the time to do time? I can guarantee you there will always be some time to do time. It just happens.
Yeah,
That's for
absolutely.
sure. Yeah.
And
So you graduated 10 months ago. Um, Maybe guide us a little bit through the first time you heard about who your mentor is and how that felt and how you learned about it and how the first meetings went.
Yeah, sure. So I was lucky enough actually to be a scholarship winner, which was absolutely incredible, and again came at a really good time for me. And when I found out that my mentor was Kate Schilling, I was really excited, and um, I could see how it was a good synergy with her marketing background and my marketing background, and just so incredible because the experience and the companies that she had worked for were just so impressive. And I was really looking forward to, I guess, getting to know her more and also having some guidance and some of her expertise. And I'm always a little bit shy when I first meet people, so
Mhm.
that wasn't the easiest thing for me when I started time. But everyone was so lovely, including Kate, that it was pretty quick that I got into the rhythm of things, and we had some really great sessions. And even now, we do still catch up. And I just think that she is amazing. Her experience and knowledge of the industry here in Australia, but also having worked for some companies overseas, was just invaluable to me at the time in launching my travel website and my new
Mhm.
business. So
So,
yeah.
so did you kind of tell her in the first meeting, that's what I want to achieve, that's where you need to get me to, or how did you get it started?
I guess for me at the time, I was really operating by myself. Still am a sole trader in my business, and I'd come from spending 10 years being able to, have a team or managers to talk to about things. And it's quite isolating sometimes when you're on your own making lots of decisions about your business and maybe a little bit unsure and not confident, especially off the back of everything that happened with COVID and so many people, including myself, losing jobs. It does knock your confidence around a bit.
Mhm.
And Kate was really, really great for that in terms of being a sounding board. So uh, the paperwork that you go through, or the things that you think about when you're joining time, it it's really laid out well in terms of making you think about what is the best thing to maximize your time. What goals do you have to talk to your mentor about? What do you want to get out of the program? And I think going through that process really helped me decide, okay, this is what I want to focus on. And then I usually went to each meeting with a little bit of a recap since the last meeting with my mentor, And then every now and then we would just check back in on those goals and objectives to make sure that we were sort of staying on track. And I think that there was lots of great things that I got out of the experience, but definitely having that sounding board and somebody to talk to who understood the industry and also came from that, I guess, marketing or commercial background, and having an objective person's point of view on some of the things that I was working on or having to make decisions on was just so valuable at the time.
I love when you said that you usually went to the meeting with a bit of a recap, what has happened since last meeting, and what was the last meeting about. When I did a program, I usually just said most of the time is actually not happening at the meetings, but between the meetings, because you obviously kind of have your 2 hour slot where you kind of bring up your whatever you bring up, and then you put it into your real life and you see how it works, and then you kind of do the recap and get obviously the next portion of real life experience started. So yes, it's always so interesting, and also to hear that everyone is so different in regards to how the shadows of all that work out for them. So yeah, very interesting. I think you attended a couple of workshops as well, did you?
Yeah, actually, I go to all the workshops that I can attend, which is pretty much, I think, most of them since I started. I find
Right.
them really valuable. I guess as before I joined Time, I didn't really even understand that that was one of the perks of being part of the Time community, and I think
Mm.
it's just incredible that we get these opportunities to have people who are leaders in the industry, in what they're doing, teach us and help us with coaching, personal development, that kind of thing.
Mm.
And it's a really valuable part of being in the Time family, I think.
Is there something specific you can remember from one of the workshops that you went to that really resonated well with you and that you took into your daily life again?
Yeah, I guess I was at one of the workshops thinking, oh, this information is really important. I need it. I know I'm going to learn a lot here. And I remember looking around the room and there was all these, what's the best way to say it? um, all these people who maybe are, famous in the travel industry. I remember looking around thinking, wow, these are some incredible people. And hearing that they were actually feeling the same as me, that they were not maybe confident as I thought they were. I thought it's just me that feels like this, but actually I'm looking around the room and everyone was a little bit unsure in the way they were answering things, and everyone was really enjoying learning. And I think that that helps with that community feel as well, because we are all there to learn, and we're there also to support each other. And yeah, getting to know those other people has been a really exciting part of the program as well. But definitely that was, I think, an eye-opening moment for me. It's not just me.
Mm.
We're all feeling this.
Yeah, and I also loved that everyone understands, no matter who does the workshop or who attends, everyone has to give something and to take something. It's just a very special atmosphere, I think.
Yeah, and if everyone wasn't contributing in that session, then I wouldn't have learned those things about them either, and felt that we had those commonalities. And when I maybe didn't feel confident about doing something, well, guess what? There's a manager of a pretty important company sitting across the table from me who feels the same. It's quite amazing.
It is, I agree. So you mentioned in the beginning you're a bit shy when you don't know people. I think one component of the program is obviously the networking that most people are well aware of. Um, how did it go for you? The first time you go into this room of the networking function, there's, I don't know, 50, 60, 80 people. Many of them you probably know from, LinkedIn and, their history, and can be intimidating. But how did your first networking meeting go?
Well, my first one was interesting because it was actually the first in-person event
Mm.
back, after COVID. So any other correspondence or any, communication or sessions had all been over Zoom up until that point. I was I cheated a little bit. I met someone I knew outside and we walked in together.
What?
um, because exactly what you said, walking into a room full of 60 people that, potentially I knew who a lot of them were, but they wouldn't necessarily know who I am, and I'm quite shy to just go. go up and talk to people. So yes, I cheated a little bit, but I guess what I learned very quickly that evening was I didn't need to worry about it because a lot of people came up to me and were chatting to me. And after watching the presentation of the graduates at the time and seeing who the new mentees as well, who the new mentees were as well, it's sort of a bit of an icebreaker already because you can go up to that person knowing who they are by the time the networking part rolls around. So it's definitely not a scary place at all. And I've not felt that way pretty much ever since then. I've always felt quite comfortable to walk into the room. Everyone's really welcoming and there's always a familiar face.
Absolutely true. I had a very similar experience as well. I don't think I've done the cheating part. I just walked in and hoped to survive. But similar, you are approached within 2-3 minutes, absolutely lightest. And by saying that, I was on purpose staying on the side, just observing, hoping for someone that I already know, so I can just attach myself.
Yeah.
But I didn't even need that. It just starts automatically, which is wonderful. And everyone is there for the same reasons because they want to grow together and they want to get to know who you are as a person, not necessarily as what's the career benefit that person can give me.
Yeah, it's almost the opposite of what I expected in that I will
Mhm.
get to the end of the evening and I haven't even seen, half the amount of people that I was hoping to talk to or catch up with because you get involved in these conversations, with people or perhaps new people that you've just met and all of a sudden the night's gone.
I know time flies, right? It's
Yeah,
incredible. It's
yeah.
incredible. Very often I actually stay till 11 or something. And the next morning I thought, oh, damn, should have gone at 9. I'm not 20 anymore.
It's worth it though, right?
100%
Yeah,
it is. It is.
yeah.
So let's talk a bit about your graduation. Did you actually graduate in person or virtually?
Yeah, I graduated in person, which was great. So it was April. Was it April or June last year? I think it was June last year, actually.
Mm,
I finished the program in April, but I was at the June graduation. Yes, that's right.
right, right.
Yeah.
And how did your speech go? Tell us all about it.
Well, as I've mentioned, not great at public speaking, and I was super nervous. So I decided to type something out, and I did mostly read it. But everyone
Mm.
was so lovely. I felt very nervous. I was shaking. People afterwards politely pretended that they didn't see that, I think. And, I had lots of people come up to me and just congratulate me on graduating, on the speech, on the things that I talked about, I guess, which was really nice. So it was definitely a night that I think I will always remember. I think it was, special to be graduating with a couple of people that I knew really well. Two who were from interstate, but there for the graduation event in person, and yeah, just a really fun night.
Yeah, I always love to hear the graduation speeches. Some are nervous, some are extremely confident, some are super excited, but they're just always authentic and raw, and that's what I
Yes,
really love about it. It's special just listening to it, yeah, and it just reminds us, of their own journey. Obviously, when we did our programs, or probably those who start, they think like, oh my gosh, in 6 months I have to be up there. But look, everyone survived so far, right?
yes, I think
That's
so. Right?
definitely positive. That's definitely positive.
It
And
is.
Anna, I really appreciate that you kind of dedicated your time after time, still to time. There's a lot of time in that sentence. Um, so tell us a little about your new role at time.
Yes. So I think a lot of people probably don't know that one of or some of my jobs is actually social media marketing for small businesses. So I am officially started as the social media manager, I guess you'd say, for Time. I think it's a really great community that Time has and a very extensive network. And hopefully through a bit more planning and consistency on social media, we'll be able to widen that and get some more communication out there as well in terms of what events are happening, photos after the event, so that we can all see those ones that maybe we weren't able to attend or that were interstate. There's a lot that we can do. So I'm really excited to be helping Time on this going forward, and it's exciting to be working on something with them more closely, other than being a mentee and going through the program.
And obvious question for many, especially now that the world is very busy again. Why do you do that?
Why?
Hmm.
Well, I think there's a few reasons. I mean, I really enjoyed my experience. It's hard not to say time with time, isn't it? I really enjoyed my experience going through as a mentee, and I still enjoy all the events that I go to, and I do try to go to all of them. Um, I just find it such an amazing community, and the people that I've met really have, changed my life and changed I think the trajectory of my business as well. And I really value that. So I would like to be involved and I guess give back some of my own time for that as well. But, obviously I can't do that as a mentor, maybe not yet or not for some time. And, when you look at things that you're good at, it's best if you're going to help someone with something, you look at what you're good at. And I think that was, a natural fit for me.
Mm. I think a lot of people are not 100% informed about the committee or the whole organization behind the scenes. So the committee is pretty much the active part that organizes and helps to keep time alive.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I've always enjoyed my work on the committee as well. Which I think I've done 2.5 years or 3 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I had nothing else to do was COVID. No, that wasn't the only reason why I was doing that. Yeah, it's just such, again, similar to the function, such a great community, great people in the room that you work together with, and yeah, you
Yeah.
always learn something, right? You always learn something. So interesting.
You do. And as you said, everyone's there to help each other. And I find it a really positive community. And they're the people that, I would like to surround myself with. And that's how, I would like to be for other people. So I like to help, and being part of the community in, any way I can is really important to me.
That's wonderful, and I can't wait to see how you take over social media and give it your own personality.
Thank you.
I'm sure it will be very successful. And everyone who's listening can support that journey by liking and sharing all of our LinkedIn stuff, right?
Yes, please reshare,
Absolutely.
repost,
Please subscribe
comment.
here. Yes, no, that would be absolutely awesome. Lovely. Anna, thanks for your time. It was great to learn a bit more about your journey with time and your future with time. And I know I see you in 2 weeks at the beautiful Time Function, where you also attend a workshop accidentally done by me. How
Yes,
exciting.
I'm really looking forward to that. It'll
Oh, the
be
pressure is on. I feel it already. Here we
Oh,
go.
no, no, we already know that you'll be fabulous. Don't worry.
Oh, well, 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 well. We see that. We see that. No, I'm looking forward to it. Awesome. Well, thanks for your time. And yeah, anytime welcome back on the show, obviously.
Thanks so
And
much for having me.
I'm looking forward to having a lovely glass of wine with you soon.
Yes, absolutely. Good.
Lovely. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.